Welcome to Mountain Man Explore the Truth. How's everybody doing today or tonight, depending on the time you're listening to the podcast? I hope you are doing well, my friends. I really appreciate you guys showing the support for the show. The big favor I can ask is just share the show. If you're listening to it on Spotify, be sure to hit that follow button and rate it 5 stars. It really helps the show, guys. I appreciate it. And also give me a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if you're enjoying the show. I like to hear feedback, so don't be afraid to give a comment. And, on YouTube, you can subscribe and hit the thumbs up on the bell, and then you'll know when new shows are dropping if you prefer on YouTube. So just make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. It really helps the show. Today, we're going to be welcome on Cody Pauley. I hope I said his last name right. I apologize, Cody, if I said that wrong. I believe it's Pauley. Yeah, I think I got that right. So Cody is a known researcher in the Bigfoot world. He's known from the night, or let me pronounce it right, the Ohio Night Stalkers. And he's a part of that group page. Oh man, guys, I'm terrible today. I got this slight cold, so bear with me. Anyways, I'm not gonna cut that out. I'm gonna keep going. He's from the Ohio Night Stalkers. He's joined a group with these guys, and the guy, his main guy in there, his name's Mike. I've been looking into them. They're pretty cool guys, and they got some interesting vocals on recordings and had some crazy experience. So I'm looking forward to having Cody come on. So it's going to be an awesome show today, guys. So take a listen and let me know what you think, and give a comment on the show. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy Mountain Man Explore the Truth. If you do, the best thing you can do is share the show. I really appreciate it. And if you had an encounter and like to come on the show, email me at mountainmanett@gmail.com. Again, mountainmanett@gmail.com. Or you can look for me on Facebook. Look for Blake Botel. All right, guys. 1 second. We'll be bringing him on. Today, we welcome on Cody. Cody, welcome to the show.
Oh, Blake, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's an honor, man. Go ahead and tell people a little bit about yourself and what you're known for.
Oh, I'm Cody. I'm 26. I'm a Bigfooter out of Ohio. I go out with Ohio Night Stalkers, and I think you had Donna on the show.
Yep.
We've been out with her, and a lot of these recordings. If you show them, if you recorded with the Ohio Night Stalkers, so I'll give them credit for that.
Right on. Yeah, you guys had some really interesting sounds and vocals, and I was really impressed. Let me know what got you, or let us know what got you into this. What was your first interest into the Bigfoot world?
What really got me into it is I looked on YouTube and I know down the little rabbit hole and I saw the Patterson Gimlin film and that's what got me into it. Now that's unbelievable footage and that's crazy, but
It is. It is.
that's you can't that's not a person.
No, it's one of the best, films out there during that time. I mean, it's really hard to hoax something like that. I mean, you could tell what a suit looks like. So I totally agree with you. I think that's a legitimate Bigfoot. And it's really hard to tell nowadays with footages and pictures because of the technology, but you can kind of tell what's kind of legit and what's not nowadays.
Yeah, and Bob Gimlin, he never changes his story. I met him twice and his story's always the same, never changes or anything.
That's true. That's what got me too, man. I'm here. I turned 40 years old, and I was into Bigfoot since I was a kid. I was always watching anything mystery with Bigfoot. Uh,
Yep.
and then my mind opened to other things. I'm into the UFOs, paranormal, and so on. But it's an honor to have you on, man. I love bringing researchers like yourself on the show. So
Yeah, this is only my second podcast, so it's a little different for me. So if I stumble a little bit, I apologize.
oh, you're fine, man. It's
I
it's all
talk
about
quick.
being yourself and having a good conversation, man.
Oh. But yeah, but what got me going out in the woods, or got me interested was everyone knows it's so fine and big, but everyone knows that show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite show, and I seen what they do, and I was like, I want to go do that. I want to go out and look for these things, and that's what got me into wanting to go out and research and all that.
Oh, right on, man. That's awesome. You became a good motivator out there getting the work done, and I love it when foot's on the ground. Researchers are out there. So
Yeah.
what was your first experience with these creatures?
First experience with these creatures were so my first year with them was with the High Night Stalkers was in 2015, six-ish,
Mm-hmm.
16-ish is when I was still in high school at the time. And they had a birthday basketball for one of the members, Mike Feltner, which he's taking a little break off, but he's taking a little break off. So, and we went to I went to his he invited me to his birthday bash that he had with Bigfoot instead of he wanted to go do a Bigfoot bash, and we split up that night. And that night we so the one group stayed back in the shelter and the shelter that we was at. And then me, Mike, and some other people went to some of the other people groups split up, went to a different location. And that night, when we split up, they were having the ones back at the shelter was having pebbles while we were having thrown at them while we was having rocks thrown at us and movement all around us.
Wow, that's awesome. And this was happening during the nighttime, you say?
So it did nighttime.
Okay, it always seems to be more active at nighttime. Do you kind of know why they do are more active at night?
I believe that I believe they're nocturnal, so I think they do a lot of hunting a lot of hunting at night, and they can get and at night when they can go in the woods undetected by people, and like easier to get the food.
Yeah, that makes sense.
think that's the I think that's the I think that's why they recommend. I think they're out during the day. I don't think necessarily think they're all nighttime. I think they're out during the day because there's a lot of sightings during the day. But I believe that I think they have some stay up and then some and they alternate like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because I do believe they do move around during the day, but they're more likely to be aware and watch out for being spotted. Because it makes sense for them to go do their thing at night. And I think they can actually see better in the night. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I just feel like they can go around freely in the wilderness at night and not worry about hikers, horsebacks,
Hmm.
unless you're a Bigfoot or like all craziness.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Excuse me, I got a little slight cold and I'm a little plugged up today. But yeah, what was the most? Did you guys ever have a pretty intense encounter with these things?
Back in 2020, when when all that craziness happened in the world, we went out. Me and the Ohio Night Stalkers, we went out. We went out pretty much every other weekend because gas was lower, so we had nothing else to do. We all off work, so we just went out to our areas every other weekend. And I think it was in June 2020. We was out at night in one of our spots or hotspots. It's been kind of quiet the last few years. We gave it a break last year, but in 2020, man, I don't know. I think they was raising the young ones there, and then and we had rocks thrown at the car and all kinds. And we had rocks thrown. I have a call blaster, which is it's Fox Pro. It's a thing that has animal recordings on it.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Yeah, and I do Wolf House, which we don't. I don't think we have wolves in Ohio. I don't believe we don't. But but we I blast out the wolf calls, and it seems to get the wild interested. And we had coyotes responding, but every time I would do the wolf howl, it seemed like the Bigfoots were also wondering what that was, and they came, and that's when they started throwing rocks at us.
Wow, interesting. And was it like just pebbles or good sized rocks or anything like that, or no?
I believe they was good sized rocks. They made loud bunks on Mike Miller's Jeep a lot.
Wow, that's scary. I'm glad none of you guys got hit by one. At least I know of.
And the following week, and one after that, all that happened. The next the next time we came out, me and Mike Miller's stomach was literally just turning as we was going back in our spots. We felt like what if they throw it? What if they throw it? What if they knock a tree down our car and we're stuck back here?
Oh yeah, that's a scary situation. So you guys probably definitely were around probably a family group.
Oh yeah, we believe they raised the young ones there. That's where they was raising them at, and we got close to them. And they didn't like it.
That makes sense because it seems like they're very protective of their family, their youngins, and that's probably when you see most of the aggressive encounters with these things. But I do hear a lot of peaceful encounters with these things. They're just aware of you, and you see them, and then they just try to get away from you. So
I think it depends on. I think it depends. So you know how people had some people are different personalities like us. Like we,
yeah,
some people don't
yeah,
like to be around people.
mm-hmm.
I think some of them don't like being around people. And that's the ones that get aggressive. They don't want you near them at all.
Yeah, you got a point there because I do think they're like humans. I mean, I think some are probably bad and some are good and some are in the middle.
And I think it's like us. We have some good people. We have some bad people. I think they're basically this. I think they do the same thing as we do. And some are intrigued by people, and some don't want nothing to do with people.
Exactly. Yeah. So have you ever seen one like up in like be able to make out one? Did you see one at all up close or no?
Last October actually.
Really? Really? Let's hear
So
about it.
last October we went out for a little anniversary thing for the Ohio Night Stalkers events. Which if you want to have Miller on here, he'll probably share that with you. And he'll tell
Oh,
you all about that. I wasn't there for that one,
okay. Okay.
but he so we went to we got a new spot. We have a new area where we invited on the public land and stuff. Where private land we got invited on, and and um and he'll tell you his side of his story too, because he said he's seen one too. After he's seen his, like now, like maybe like an hour or so later, um, like hour or so later, I came back because we split up and stuff, and we have a group that split up, and why everyone stayed back to the jeeps and stuff, and some split up because Bigfoots don't seem to not like them when you split up, 'cause they don't know what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and when I came back, I was going to fix my call blaster because I think it has a sleep mode on it where it falls asleep after I had to save the battery on it, and I had to go and turn it back on. And when I went to go turn the when I went to go buy the car to go back of the car to turn it back on to get it back set again, I seen this black silhouette of thing with the moonlight on it, and I could see it like smoothly going across the ground quickly. It was gone in a matter of 3 steps.
Oh, wow. Wow. So did you get a good look of like the hair color on it at all, or a facial expression or anything like that?
Hair color, I didn't see the facial effects. You know how when Bigfoots walk, they hunch over and they take off. They don't really, they try to keep the face like they try to make go across and not. They don't really like they don't turn all the time to show the face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense because I've
Well,
definitely
this
heard.
thing, sorry,
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
and this thing and this thing didn't even look at me. But I think it's seen me, but it didn't really look at me. Kind of maybe side looked me. But as I seen with the moonlight on it, had like a silverish whitish color to it,
Okay.
and I could see the little swivels of the hair while I was moving off.
Wow. Was probably a pretty big guy, huh?
I think he was. I think it was actually a younger one.
Really? Okay.
I, I think it was not like a younger one. I think it was like a young one that was just now growing into its adulthood.
Gotcha. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of juvenile, encounters, and I think they're more interested in seeing what we are. And the big guys that have been around longer, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna avoid this guy." Every now and then you'll hear people seeing these big ones, and that makes sense because it seems like the juveniles are more interested in checking us out and seeing what we are.
Yeah, and that night, man, when I seen that, that was my first actual like I seen one. I've had other experiences like with them throwing rocks up, but I never actually seen one that I think know is one.
Awesome. That's the thing is it's getting out there and you're feeling it. You can feel them there probably, and you experiencing it. That's awesome, Cody. I'm glad to hear you're out there doing it. And how long has it been since you've been out?
We are currently on our off season. We pick back up probably about spring April-ish is when we pick up. We go to like April to like sometimes November. A lot of times it's been October because it's been weather. It gets cold
Okay.
here,
Okay. Cool. Cool. I
and
mean, that makes sense
we
because
like to have a little break in between of the. We like to give all areas a break so we're not there constantly destroying, constantly squatching where they just move on from it.
yeah, that makes sense. So you guys take a nice little break, and nobody else goes in that area then, right? Okay. Cool. So
We get invited to private people's when we go out. It's all
yeah.
private people's lands.
How was it for you guys when you head out to Donna's place? Did you guys have some pretty interesting experience out there as well?
Yeah, she has so much stuff on her property.
Mm-hmm. I know. I believe it. Some of the stuff she told me, I was like, "Whoa." Uh,
Yeah, see,
yeah,
it's she has an unbelievable. She has unbelievable stories, man.
yeah. They're pretty awesome. She's become one of my good friends too now, and I really enjoyed chatting with her. I had her on twice, and I'll probably have her on again down the road on a live show. So that'd be cool. So
Now, she's so smart with her. She knows what she's talking about.
yeah, she's cool. So what else you want to get out of this? In your research.
I just want I want to just educate people I want to like educate people on the subject. Like I want people to be out about be talk about it. And
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people I ain't gonna believe what our stories or Bigfoot's real, Bigfoot's not real. I just want to educate the people that are just getting into it and assume that these animals are real and that they're there.
That makes sense.
I just want to show people the science of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, what are you, more of a science-based guy on them, or do you think there's a little bit of woo factor to it?
I I try to go with an open mind where I think science. I try to weigh the both of the scientism to it and I just go with an open mind.
Awesome. Me too. I definitely opened my mind to more to it because hearing more and more about people's encounters, there always seems to be something strange behind it as well, like a spiritual act or something like that.
Yeah, I think they do have parent. I do think they have some spiritual stuff to them, but
Yeah.
I don't really believe it. I don't really believe the dimension things like they go to different dimensions. But I'm not going to discredit people that talk about that.
Yeah, I'm the same way about it. I'm open to it because I have an
I'm open to hear people
experience.
talk about it.
Yeah, that's the same here too. I've found some people tell me about portals and stuff like that, and it blows my mind away because I'm like, whoa, there's definitely more going on, So I keep my mind open for sure. Because in the past, I used to be set stone on, just a natural creature of the woods, but there could be more to it, and I think there's more out there. I mean, you're hearing more reports about these dogmans and these
Mhm.
other things.
Well, look at it this way. We don't know everything about these creatures. We don't know we don't know how they maneuver around the areas. We don't know how they do their lives. We basically go off what we think is the realistic point of it.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Very
It could
smart,
be
man.
we could be completely wrong on what these things are.
That's right. We could be completely wrong. We don't know. I mean, you hear about the doctor, what was it, Dr. Mildrum? I can't
Belgium.
rem- Yeah, I can't remember if it was who it was that got the DNA. I'm thinking that's who it was. And they found that it had a human female DNA and father unknown.
Can't remember if it was him or not.
No, no,
But
no,
yeah,
it
I
wasn't
think
him. He's the cast guy. That's right, the footprint guy. So it was a woman that got that. I forgot her name.
I've
It's
got
tip of
I
my
have
tongue.
no
But yeah,
I can't think of it in my head.
yeah, I'm brain farting on right now myself. But have you gotten some casting on the footprints?
I've tried. So the ones I sent you,
Mm-hmm.
those ones, the first one I sent you of that one that's like that when the during the daytime where I had this tape measure by.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
the. I think I sent you that one. Did I sent you that one?
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, that was an interesting one. So
So
you
that one was about. That one was. I didn't have casting material at that time. Sadly, I carry casting material where I go now, and
awesome.
that was back in 2019, and it was raining and stuff. And if you look at that picture, you can see the toes into it.
Yeah, I
And I
see
would
that.
say it was probably maybe 12 and a half, maybe, if
Wow,
I can
that's
remember correctly
interesting.
off my head.
Yeah, see, that's why Dr. Meldrum's name came up in my mind because I was thinking about the casting, footprints and all that. I mean, he's got an amazing collection. I was just watching his stuff last night, so that's why it popped in my head. I know it was a female doctor. I can't remember her name. It's right on the tip of my tongue that got some DNA from people donated to her to check out. So I'll have to look
I
into
can't
that
remember.
again.
And the other ones I sent you, the other ones I sent you with the water in them,
Mm-hmm.
I had casting material, but I had to go back to the car to get it, and just it just dumped down the rain on it,
Yeah, once there's water in there, it's pretty much, a
uncastable,
loss.
unless you
Yeah.
know how to drain it correctly. I'm still learning how to cast correctly.
Well, I think it's cool that you're coming across footprints and all that. So, but yeah, I definitely like to get more researchers like yourself on the show. So, how do you go about it? Is there anybody that you are learning from? Mostly Mike,
Uh,
or
I've learned from Mike Feltner and Mike Miller from the Ohio Night Stalkers, and I've done and if you're going like what I did when to get into Bigfoot research before I actually went out looking for Bigfoot research and Bigfoots and stuff. I did a lot of research on them so I can understand animals and what they do and what they eat and how they live their lives
okay,
before
okay.
I went out and trying to find one.
That's awesome, man. You're definitely a true researcher out there, so that's awesome. You do if you go back and you listen to some of my shows, you'll see I had quite a few researchers on the show. That's kind of what I'm looking into, especially with people with encounters as well. But I love bringing researchers on the show because they all have their own different methods and thoughts on this stuff. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's yeah, I've learned from them. I've learned how to investigate at nighttime by Mike Miller and Mike Feltner and all that. That's how I've learned how to all what to do and how to go after it.
That's awesome, man. What more do you got to share with us today?
I do have some recordings. Did you get those?
Yeah, you sent some recordings, right, of the vocals. Is that what it was?
Yeah, those vocals and those. I think there's one that has a rock and rocks on them. Now,
Okay.
in the one with the vocals, like the 30-second range, I think is one of the one on the 30-second range where you'll hear the recording, and we think we get also analyzed by a professional. He's a I forgot his I think it's David Ellis, something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
start to get it cleaned up.
Yeah, okay. I'm familiar with
So
that
it's
guy. I
kind of
heard him.
hard to hear that more, but if you go to the 30, if you hit the 30-second mark, you kind of hear something different in it.
Okay.
We think that one could be we think that one could be we think that one is a Bigfoot that's going in with the coyotes.
Okay. Yeah, what I can do is at the end of the show, I can put that in on the end if you like me to do that.
Yeah, you can do that. But we still got to clean it up a little bit, so you have to listen quick. Listen to it clearly to it to hear the difference of the coyotes and the Bigfoot. Cause Bigfoot's only go to woo, and this thing sounds like a manly kind of like. "Roar."
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think I did hear that part. And that's the thing too is you hear these woo sounds and then you hear these little grunt sounds and growl sounds and makes you wonder because there's coyotes that go off out there, but they're definitely not coyotes when you hear these certain sounds because you can tell the levels sound different.
Yeah, and we had to get it cleaned up a little bit. If I remember correctly on that recording, it's like the 30-second mark of it, and that's where we think that's one of them.
That's awesome, Cody. Um, so yeah, Cody, where you guys plan on in your future going? Are you gonna go stick around in Ohio, or are you thinking about branching out and checking out some other areas?
I stick with Ohio. I have a Facebook. It's called Cody Squatches. Um, I'm still with the Ohio Night Stalker. I'm just doing I have my own little going out with. I'm still with them, but I'm just doing two things at the same, not two things at the same time, but I'm doing my own research and with them. We're
That's
working together on it.
that's awesome. That's important. You got to do a little bit of stuff on your own, and then you share what you find and way you want to do things. So that's
Yeah.
cool. So going back to Donna, so what kind of activities you have up there?
He has a lot of she has a lot of stuff on her property that she gets a lot of stuff on her property like she got some recordings of them. She's told me the story of her getting one of those buckets thrown at them because two of them were fighting or something like that.
Yeah, she's told me about that. But what I'm wondering is, if when you went up there, did you have some results from anything out there? Did you hear them making sounds, or did you have stuff thrown at you? Did you experience anything out there yourself?
Yeah, we've heard things, because we stay in a cabin that kind of butts up to a property. So what we did is we bigfooted the cabin area, and we sat out there and by the little woods and stuff. And we've heard something screaming from coming from her side of the property almost.
Oh wow, yeah. It sounds like a pretty wild area. There ain't that much people living in that area, huh?
No, it's very woolly.
That's awesome. That's what I love. That's where I want to go to. As soon as I get my own place, I'm hoping to get something that's kind of out in a rural area. I don't care if there's a neighbor a mile down the road or two, but uh, I'd like to get somewhere where it's just less people.
Yeah, that's where they're at. But also, Bigfoot's on woolly aren't that far from people.
Yeah, I heard stories too. I've heard stories saying that they've seen them pretty close to the cities, and outside of the cities and like foothills of the mountains. They come down. So I
Yeah.
find that fascinating.
I live that to a trail park that butts up to a park that's next to us that has a lot of Bigfoot history.
Oh,
And then
really?
those last footprints I've seen that Soja with the water in them is from that area.
Oh, really? Can you share some of that history with us, or?
Yeah, I won't tell the park because we can't keep our
Yeah, yeah.
places
That's totally
under wraps at the
respectful.
park, but
No problem.
we've had there's been times there where me and Feltner used to go out all the time, but like I said, he's taking a little break off and stuff and to get some stuff figured out. And we've had some luck there. Like we've had a luck there for a year straight now outside of our new area, out of those other areas we've had luck at that park.
Oh, wow, really? And what kind of history did you read up on or hear people's experience they had out there?
There's a family that was driving down one of the park roads of the park and seen this big thing come out of the wood line across the road and go to the other side of the wood, and it was like I think it was in I think it was like June or November, somewhere around there. Excuse me.
Hmm.
And we there's a family that we that you can read that up on the BFRO, but I can send you the park details on that. I can send you the park details on privately. I just don't want to give out our area so to keep it private
Yeah,
for the
totally
locals.
respectful. You don't want people to know your area, and you don't
Yeah,
want to get too much attention on it because that can really ruin some research you're trying to look into. So I totally understand that, and I appreciate that.
we try to keep our areas as quiet on the low so we don't get other squatters there.
Gotcha. How many areas do you
And a
got
lot of
now?
times it's private property that we go to, so we get invited to go on.
So how many areas you guys got that you're looking into? Is there like several or?
At the park.
No, I mean like how many places are you researching? Is there like a lot of areas that you're looking into in all around Ohio or?
Yeah, so in Adams County, I'll tell you that in Adams County, we have a bunch of hot spots with private land and stuff that we get invited on, and
Awesome.
and those and we have different spots. We go to different spots. We try to go to different spots every time. But if we have one activity, we'll go take because usually when we go out after we go out that one week, we'll take like sometimes a month. We won't go back because we get busy, or another few weeks we'll go back and we'll go back to area see what's cooking up, and then we'll just let it sit for a minute. Then we go to a different area. We have a bunch of areas in the area in Adams County.
That's the way to do it because that way you can take a break from one and go to another and give it some time to reassess and then go back out there. So, do you mind sharing with us what kind of equipment do you guys use? Is there certain particular equipment you use when you go out there?
So Mike Miller, he uses a parabolic disc, one of those big ones.
Okay,
He puts it on his Jeep and he records the sounds onto his little audio thing,
awesome.
his audio recorder, and he faces them to anywhere up the hill where anywhere he can think you hear sounds coming from. We use I use a FLIR. I use that Foxbow game caller, and what else do I use? I can't think of what else I use. I use a bunch of shit. Excuse my language.
Oh, no problem. Do you use like night vision or thermal or anything like
My
that?
flare is a thermal night vision. I
Okay.
can record video and photos, which I wish like I told you I had that sighting in October.
Hmm.
I wish I would have I went my flare at the camp chair to walking check because I was going to check my game cam. No, and I made a mistake. I should have bought it, but I didn't bring it. I left it on the chair.
Yeah, that seems to happen. I've seen a possible Bigfoot myself across this canyon where I live. And I was watching it gliding across the clear cut and it about to disappear in the tree line. I run up to try to grab my binoculars, and usually I have it with me because I'm out there just looking around. I just like looking. And I'm like, damn it, the time I didn't have it, I can't get a good look at it. And it was already gone. It was in the tree lines, gone. And I'm pretty sure it was a Bigfoot because when I saw a man over there that was working, because this land's over here is owned by a logging company, and they're the only ones that are allowed over there unless you get permission to go over there. Um,
Yeah,
but this thing was big, and this guy looked like a full grown man over there coming out of a white work truck. He looked tiny compared to this thing. So that's when I was like, okay, I definitely saw something. I can't confirm it was a Bigfoot, but I'm leaning towards it probably was because it was twice the size of that man.
I believe you.
So
It's just when something like that happens, it always seems to happen at the wrong time possible.
yeah, I know. I was like, oh. And there's one time
Squatcher's
I
luck.
I gotten something on video down in the canyon here by the creek. It kind of looked like a figure standing in the creek. It was kind of gray color looking. I haven't shared that with many people. Every now and then I'll share a clip to my guests like yourself and get your opinion on it. But it looked like it was something, possible Bigfoot. Uh-oh, I think I dropped you. Let me get you back. Let me get you back. Hold on. Hear you. Sorry about that. Must have lost connection with you.
It's
Okay.
all good.
We're back on. No worries. It happens. It's happened to me a lot up here. I'll get a call that'll drop, or sometimes it makes it all the way through. But anyways, what I was telling you is that what I saw in the canyon there in the creek looked like something standing up, a gray figure. I couldn't make it out. It kind of gave me and my dog an unease feeling, so I got enough footage of it, but then I backed out. I just feel like I need to get out of there. So it's kind of crappy
Yeah, when
footage,
your
but
dog is afraid, that means it's something.
yeah, I'll have to share it with you and get your opinion on it too. I like getting everybody's little opinion on it. I just don't share it too much because I'm not 100% sure. if it's a Bigfoot or something else. I can tell you right now, it
What's your
wasn't a
gut
man.
say?
Huh?
What's your gut say?
I think it's a possible Bigfoot because it was gray hair color looking thing standing up, and I think it was possibly fishing, in the creek. So
I, I go with your gut. If you think you seen one, you probably seen one.
yeah, I think so too. I showed it to a few people, and they're like, that looks like a Squatch," and I'm like, "Well, I didn't get close enough to look, but I could tell you what, on the video and when I see it with my own eyes, it looks different. With my own eyes, you can see something moving motions and all that, and on the camera, you can't really see it moving as much, but you can see it kind of doing a little sway to it. So it was pretty interesting.
Slaying, that's what they do.
All right, cool. So that might be a legitimate one. I'll have to share it
Yep,
with you
they do
sometime.
slay a lot. Sway a lot.
Yeah, I believe it because I've heard people tell stories about it. So hey, Cody, share with us what would be your most favorite encounter story that you might have heard.
My favorite story I probably heard is, well, like my favorite experience. I'll say my favorite experience was.
Yeah, that's fine if it's your own
So
experience.
my favorite experience is probably, I would probably say in the 2020 and when all those rocks came over.
Oh, all right.
That's probably my favorite, most memorable activity I've had because it's in the back of my head and
Yeah,
I can remember that fondly.
that's
And
awesome.
and there ain't no deers don't throw rocks.
No, they don't.
If
And
we're at on private land, there's no one in those woods.
that's awesome, man. Yeah, that had been a pretty intense feeling and a little bit of excitement as well. Um, do
Yeah.
you, do you have any particular favorite researchers out there that you look up to?
Um, I look up to Cliff Barackman for finding Bigfoot. He's the guy I look up to.
All right on. Yeah, I live not too far from he lives in my area. I lived here a whole lot longer than him, of course, but he moved in the right area. He you know about his museum and all that.
Yep. Yep.
It's right in my town. I live out here in Sandy, Oregon, and his museum is right in Boring, which Boring meets with Sandy.
I want to go to that museum eventually.
All you gotta. It was a pretty impressive museum. I went in there and checked out some of the history of evidence and all the stuff that he's got in there. I was like, wow, it's amazing. So definitely make a trip there. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah. But I look up to like Cliff and Mike Miller. I look up to with the research and Feltner. I looked up to.
That's awesome because it's good to get other researchers to look up to, so you can kind of, you know, work with your own method. Everybody has their own researchers they look kind of up to, and they like to, do their work kind of similar to theirs, and it's just awesome. So I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
I think I'm good.
Are you sure? You good? Nothing else you want to say about your show or anything like that, or what's coming?
I don't have so the on the few here in the I think next week I'm gonna go out and put a trail cam out in the area that I'm gonna go investigate and just see what I can see, and maybe if I get lucky I might see something. I'm gonna put it out and see where the animals are at, and that's where I'm gonna choose to do my research at.
Gotcha. Are you plan on doing like a YouTube channel? Because I think you mentioned you're going to be working on one.
Um, I don't. I might make a YouTube for like my hiking and like stuff,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I wouldn't do video and all. I wouldn't do video for the groups with my group because that's how they don't really want to do that.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Some researchers don't. Some people don't want to share their what they have. They like to share with like-minded people. So I totally respect that. Um, I'm learning though more and more researchers are starting to use that tool. Going out there, videoing their trip, and
Yeah,
trying to see if they get anything on film as well, and then they share that on YouTube. So, uh, th-
I think I'm gonna do some YouTube stuff and I'll probably put some stuff on my Facebook for that Cody Squatch. I'll probably put some stuff on my Cody Squatches of like stuff I find,
yeah, that's
and
awesome, man.
I might do some lives there when
That'd be
I'm
cool.
hiking and stuff.
That'd be cool because I'm pretty sure people will enjoy what you're doing and see what you got, and of course keep stuff to yourself that you don't want to share right now. That's what a lot of researchers do, because they're looking into it more.
Yeah, I released I try to keep it. I try to keep all my stuff I get out to the people so they can hear what I experience and stuff.
Oh, right on, Cody. Well, I could tell right now by talking to you. I could tell you're a pretty smart guy, and you know what you're doing, and you are definitely got a good set of people you're working with as well, especially people like Donna. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear you're out there, foot's on the ground. How old are you again?
26.
Oh man, so you're in the prime age, so keep at it, man. I'm 40 now, and I'll tell you what, I feel more with my body when I'm out there hiking around. So I got to retrain my body again, that's for sure.
Hey, maybe you can talk to Miller, maybe get it right, maybe come out this way, and maybe we can take you out to one of our areas if it's okay by him.
Oh yeah, if I ever head that way, I definitely wouldn't mind come visiting. That could probably happen down the road. I even told
Yeah.
I got a few friends that live over there. I'm sure you heard of Bill Rigby.
Yep, I've heard him.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. So excuse me. So yeah, that's what I plan to do in the future. That's why I love doing this show, my podcast, because I want to share people's research and their experience and their encounters and all kinds of stuff, and even if they wrote a book, they could share it on the show. And I'm making friends, and we're learning from each other. And myself, I'm learning from you guys, hearing about your experience. So that's awesome. You still there?
Uh, Yeah, sir.
Okay.
So maybe, yeah, maybe you can yeah, maybe Miller, maybe talk to Miller, maybe get you out here sometime.
Yeah, I'll talk with him. So yeah, Cody. Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you, and if you got more that you'd like to share with us down the road, be sure to let me know. And you're more than welcome to share anything you want in the group page. You can share your findings or anything you want. So that's cool.
Yep. I'll send them to there and I'll send them to you whatever I come across.
All right, it was an honor talking to you, Cody.
You too.
Keep at it, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Bye. Well, that was awesome bringing Cody on. He's fresh in the games, researching, and I love hearing that, because those younger got men, women, when they're out there researching, it seems like they get more knowledge and knowledge as they go. Um, it's a bit of a short show for you guys, but you know what? I wanted to do some half-hour shows, and most of the shows will be an hour long and longer. Eventually, if I get a little shorter, then I'm planning to do two guests together into one episode. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoy the show. More to come. You heard him talking about Mike. Mike will be coming on the show here soon, so I'll have him on a separate episode. Hear more about his experience. He's probably dealt with a lot of stuff. So, and Donna's awesome. She's a great friend of mine now. I made her a moderator in my group page. Check her out. Check out her episodes. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. So if you'd like to come on the show, email me at mountmanett@gmail.com, or you can private message me on Facebook. Look for Blake Botel. So what you could do for me, guys, so I said in the intro, but you can really help me out by sharing the show. Brings it up in the charts so more people come on the show to share their encounter and their stories with you. I really appreciate your support, guys. I'm a little off today. I got this nasty little head cold, so excuse me for my interviewing today. I'm a little plugged up. My mind's a little foggy. I need to take some medicine probably, but some of this medicine, man, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's obviously that season, little flu season. So I hope I asked some decent questions. I'm trying to get better at that as well, guys. I'm trying to get better at asking questions. I'm not trying to interrupt my guests, though. But when it comes to mine, I'm hoping I'm getting better and better and better at this. I'm going to keep doing it. So I hope you enjoy Mountain Man Explore the Truth, guys. So until next time, let's explore the truth together. Goodbye, guys. Awesome, guys. I forgot to put some of those in the end of the episode of Cody's. So let me know what you think of those, guys. There might have been some I missed to put in, but if anything, I'll have them shared in the group page if you want to check it out. So look for Mountain Man Explore the Truth on the group page. I thought I'd put some of those sounds in the end. Hopefully you guys hear them fine. Have a good one, guys. Bye.